My name is Marty Shenkman. Welcome to Shenkman Education. The topic of this video clip is use the right golf club. I'm going to totally embarrass myself. I know absolutely nothing about golf, but hopefully you will put up with this in order to get the message that I think is really important. When you go golfing, and again, I know less than beans about golf. When you go golfing, do you use the same club when you tee off as you use in a sand trap, as you use to putt on the green? Absolutely not. You use a putter on the green. See, I think I know that. I got that right. You use a wedge. I don't know what I'm talking about, to get out of a sand trap. And you use one of those big wood things. Maybe it's something else now, I don't know. When you tee off, and lots of different options in between. You take a whole bag of clubs because you want to pick the club that's best for the particular shot, given the conditions of the surface, given the length, distance to the tee, whatever. Okay, you got the point. But estate planning is the same thing. But how many people call up a lawyer or go online, I want a revocable trust? First of all, what is it you need? What are you trying to do? Why are you trying to use one technique for everybody's estate planning? Why is it one technique for all of your estate planning? You're going to play golf with, I don't know, 10 different clubs? 7, 8 different clubs? Again, I'm embarrassing myself. But the point is, you use different clubs for different purposes. Estate planning has to be approached the same way. Banish these thoughts from the internet because people are selling you stuff. And even lawyers will sell you stuff because they got 3 favorite forms or techniques and they like to use them for everybody, right? You know, just pound on that round peg to squeeze it into that square hole, no matter how much you have to hit. Need to start with what your goals are, what your needs are, what your situation is, and then pick the right club, figuratively, the right technique to work for you, right? So somebody will call me and say, I want a trust. What kind of trust? You want a revocable trust? You want an irrevocable trust? Revocable trusts do little or nothing for asset protection planning, and generally speaking, nothing for tax planning, if that's even relevant for you. Irrevocable trust can protect your assets from claims, divorce, lawsuits, etc. Irrevocable trust can be structured in different ways that can have very important income and/or estate taxes. Which one do you want? Which do you need? Which makes sense for you? If it's a revocable trust that you can change at your whim, you're not getting asset protection or tax benefits, but you can build into that tremendous safeguards that are really valuable to protect you if you're incapacitated as you age, if you develop or have now health issues. You can build into the revocable trust what happens to your assets by funding irrevocable trusts that are formed on your death, testamentary trusts. And revocable trust can even be used in a different way for tax planning. And that is, what you can do is have a mechanism in the trust where somebody can revoke, terminate, end your ability to revoke or modify the trust. And at that point in time, when you lose your right to do that, it becomes a completed gift. So if you put your assets into a revocable trust and give your you give your best college buddy the right to revoke your rights, if it turns out the tax laws are going to change and the exemption is going to plummet because some future administration is changing the ground rules, your buddy can revoke your rights. It becomes an instant gift. Why could that be important? What if you're incapacitated and don't have the legal ability to make the gift? Well, you can do it then. Different golf club, folks. What about an irrevocable trust? They come in all kinds of flavors, right? You can't go into Baskin & Robbins and say, give me an ice cream scoop. What flavor, right? We have 31 of them. I think I got that number right. But in Baskin & Robbins, you got a whole array of choices. You pick what works good for you, what you like, what you want. In an irrevocable trust, it could be a completed gift or an incomplete gift. A completed gift trust means it's out of your estate. Your creditors can't get it. The IRS can't claim that it's in your estate unless something's done wrong. An incomplete gift, irrevocable trust, is a trust that's irrevocable, but it could be pulled back into your estate, such as by you retaining a limited power of appointment. So there's 2 flavors, incomplete gift, completed gift. You may inadvertently make the trust an incomplete gift because you retain powers you didn't realize. That could be a problem. Maybe fixable, maybe not so easy. A irrevocable trust can be 2 types for income tax purposes. It could be what's called a grantor trust that's taxed to you. It can be a non-grantor trust that pays its own tax. Each has its advantages, different circumstances. You're not going to use a putter to tee off. You can't use a non-grantor trust if what you intend is a grantor trust. If you're trying to qualify for tax benefits under current law that get phased out at certain income levels, and you want to shift some of your income to a trust as a different taxpayer, an RV went by. This is what happens in an RV park. But what happens is you're going to need to use a non-grantor trust for income tax planning. So again, the bottom line is, golf, right? You need a different club depending on the circumstances. Don't go into the estate planning process thinking there's a one-size-fits-all answer. It's just not going to work. Before I did this, I was thinking, think of me in a 44 regular suit. Ain't going to work. I need like a 38 short slim fit. It's just not going to work. You can't use the same size suit for everybody. You can't use the same estate plan for everybody. If everyone you know has got the same revocable trust plan, how can that be? Unless you're all clones, right? Thank you for joining me. Keep in mind everything on this video clip is for educational purposes only. Don't take any legal action without appropriate professional advice. For more information, go to shenkmaneducation.com. Thank you.